to another legendary showcase. Today, we're taking a look at the Absolute Zero. This is a standard assault rifle. I know there's a lot of hype around some of the burst variants, so I decided at Endgame with a full DPS build to see what this thing could possibly put out, and I was really impressed with its tier 3 perk there. That mod, the ultimate freeze bullets, really surprised me, and I think the massive cooldown proccing every second basically means anytime I engage in a fight, I'm freezing an enemy. As soon as he's dead, even if it's just a couple bullets, I move on to the next, that guy's frozen. It really slows them down. I mean, obviously freezes them, but it slows down their aggression. And for a guy that is built almost like a glass cannon, obviously making sure they can't get to me very fast is an absolute asset for my playstyle. I don't see this thing being used on a lot of other characters. It is, again, very useful as a form of crowd control. The damage was actually surprisingly decent. I feel like that with the top tree Technomancer as a Pestilence build, I can actually clear these waves and get through this efficiently. Now, it doesn't have the capabilities that the Burst variant does. It's not as good as the Inferno Seed. You're not going to absolutely crush any personal best with this thing, but it gets the job done, and it does it better than most of my experiences with double guns and LMGs, and that honestly surprised me. So it is a very strong gun. I decided to slap Embalmer's Rage on it, definitely to put this together, because I do struggle a little bit with these. They have a little bit more recoil than I am used to in this game. So I do go ahead, get the kill, and then just go to the body. And when I get to the body, you'll notice that they just die. It spreads. They die, they die, they die. And you may notice a couple times throughout this gameplay, if you really pay attention, is one really cool thing about that ultimate freeze is it can also activate if somebody gets close to you. Because this is a third-person shooter, I don't know if it's done this by any sort of design. I don't think it's intentional though, but because I'm shooting over shoulder, if an enemy comes from my side and gets like in melee range, and yes, this means melee enemies have a little bit extra something to worry about, they come and try to flank me or get next to me or try to melee me, realistically they're going to freeze themselves in the process. There's a lot of times I've been basically jumped on from a melee character, and before he can even hit me, these bullets accidentally freeze him. So it's almost like some weird little safe barrier. Now, I'm going to be honest, and you're going to see this through this gameplay, that I ran into and had a random guy join my queue, and I'm like, okay, normally I'd be like, okay, I kind of want to do this on my own, but I wanted to see how the assault rifles worked in squads, and I wasn't satisfied. It's not that they didn't get the job done, but again, that's definitely going to show one of its weaknesses. It's not bad. I love the crowd control. I love the freezing. You can't put an actual number value or a stat or a crit or anything on being able to set them in place, but it makes for headshots, it makes for a lot of control, and I love the perk. I was honestly, I've not been one of those guys that's like, use Toxic on hit or anything like that, but this one, the freeze, has sold me, and I think it's absolutely amazing. It could really synergize with other Technomancer builds, but again, freezing is a huge form of crowd control, and it may not be damage related or any dot damage like Toxic, but it definitely has a place in the game, and I found it absolutely refreshing to be able to use something a little different. So the Absolute Zero is pretty solid on its own, and I would actually keep its main mod, which is not something I do with a lot of guns, and I have a little bit more freedom for the secondary one, and I had fun with it, right? So overall, it's probably a B-rated gun. It's not an A-rated option. It's not going to be something that I absolutely feel like I can crush things with, or I don't think it's going to be something that scales in group play or is going to be very great on other characters that may not be able to put out the same type of DPS that a Techno can. But for every other level, it's very fun. The mod is going to be a great option for you to extract and dismantle and put on other guns or snipers or anything that you just really need to keep them in place. I'd love to see what that can do on a rifle build. But at the end of the day, if you got this one to drop for you, you did pretty good. So thank you guys for clicking on this video. Hope you guys are enjoying these showcases. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do it. Remember to tick that little bell so you don't miss any future showcase episodes, and leave a like, as it really helps out tremendously. Thank you guys again. Enjoy, and happy hunting out there. Hope you guys get this one.